And then we start laughing.
I'm videoing. Say hi.
Hi.
She said hi.
Okay. Anybody? Kelly. Videoing. This is our spot. They put trees. Took it. We can't see our Facebook, our firecrackers anymore. Uncle David and Ricky and Ted Leniger and Gaither and Kelly and Richie and Scott and Tina and her husband. And looks like there's about 4 generations here.
That's okay. Where's Rich at? He ain't showed up? Rich?
Richie? Richie, he's up there.
Oh, is that where
He's organizing. He's
so those
putting it
are all
all
people
together.
here too.
Yeah.
Did you get something?
Okay, you're on video. Who are you?
She's saying some cute words over here.
What you saying?
Meow. Meow. Meow.
You must be Stephanie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you look just like your mama.
Trees.
And you are?
Genevieve.
My friend, Erin.
Oh.
Oh. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
I didn't know if you were a child of a child of a child.
Nope.
And there's Ricky over there. She's not looking at the camera. Oh boy. We always have one in every crowd. One like me that takes pictures.
Oh my god, do you see her eyes?
Yeah. There we go. I'm putting myself in the picture there. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. I just got Dad's plot yesterday over there. Well, I didn't get it. I secured it.
Over there.
Hard to believe they both passed away 6 weeks apart. Anyway, this is a great turnout. I know that's one of Gaither's kids. You're on video. Say hey. Oh, you're the camera girl too. Are you Courtney or
Jennifer.
Jennifer? You're the oldest.
I am.
Yeah, this is Gaither's and Evelyn's baby girl, her oldest. I love the pictures you post. They're cool.
Thank you. Diane, right?
Yeah, I'm Coquette. Sandy Bray's celebration of life
we
and
start
memory.
off maybe by just having people say something to remember about Mom. Just be thinking about that for a minute or two. I got something I already got planned. Of course, I do ahead of time. But I was trying to think of the first thing I could remember about Mom when I was growing up. And the only thing I could come up with was the song that she used to sing when we were little. Anybody remember that song? The song I'm thinking of goes, there once was a lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Was an old lady who swallowed a spider. Oh me, oh miter, she swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed it. Perhaps she'll die. It goes on. It just goes on. And everybody, I think everybody knows that song if they were ever around Grandma. And I love the way that my mom, I love the way she was just like, I don't know why. She'd turn and look at you. And you got to laugh as a little kid. You think this is hilarious. So that was the earliest memory of anything about my mom that I can remember. That. And that kind of exemplifies her life. And she just loved life. She loved having people around her. Any of you that are just connected to my mom just because of some of us family. I mean, like Vernon, I know everybody does. But my mom treated Vernon just like she treated any of us. And I know all of you have friends, Angie, that Mom, you felt like part of the family, didn't you? She just made everybody feel welcome. No one was a stranger. Sure, she complained about things, but really, she loved it. And that's what I loved about my mom. She just loved people, loved life, loved having people around. Always playing cards, playing games, whatever. Mark Staley was here earlier, and I wish he was here because he's one of those kids that really liked coming over because he liked my mom. So,
Where's Deke to be there today? Deke for me, my friend, he's dead. I wish he could be here today.
Another one.
Hey, what was with that orange cake?
Vernon, tell us about the orange cake.
I don't know about orange cake.
It's all about orange cake.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yeah, Vernon, go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
I love your mom.
I don't
like orange cake.
about orange cake. She made orange cake one time. We just thought it was just a gross thing.
It was.
So every time,
Loved her food, but that cake.
throughout the years, every once in a while she'd bring up about that orange cake.
Yeah, it was just something I never. I was kind of young.
So, anybody else want to come up and say something? Members?
Didn't think about them or anything else, but she gave them a place to go to. Someplace safe. And they felt good there. And they stayed there. That was our friends when we grew up, wasn't it? They loved our house because they had something that they didn't have. Between Dave and Mom, we had a balance in our home that most people never have. Well, or at least a lot of people don't. At least that's what I found. That a lot of people don't have. They had a safe place to go. I know I mentioned Deke a minute ago. Deke Rameens, good friend of mine, dead now. Died in a horrific car accident. When he was young, he got into trouble. He got into a lot of trouble with the law, with a bunch of us. We all did, actually. And it was back then, they just called your parents and said, hey, come and get your child. Well, all of our parents came in to get us. But when they called Deke's mom, you know what she said? Let him sit there and rot. I don't care. I don't care what you do with him. Put him in a home. I don't care where you put him, what you do with him, or anything else. My mother, because she was there, first thing she said was, I'll take him. And sent him home with my mother. Now, he spent a couple days at our house. When he did go home, he got beat severely by his own money because that was his life. That's how he lived. Thank God I never had to live that. But a lot of my friends did. And she took them all in. She didn't care. She was ready to be mom to all of them. And she was ready to take them under her wing and be strong when they had nobody. When they had nobody else to lift them up, she was ready to do that. Don't get me wrong, she's no saint. Well, I think we all know that too. She had a bad side to her, and when she got mad at you, you knew it. You know? I mean, you knew. Well, for the most part, she did the right thing. I think she did it right by all of us. And I think if all of us take anything with us forever about her, that's what we'll take. Because for the most part, she tried to help all of us. She tried to do everything she could for all of us. I guess that's what I got to say about it because that's what I feel. And a lot of my friends that had nobody else, she embraced them like her own. And she never had a problem with that, no matter how bad they did. And she knew they did. And She knew they were doing bad. Didn't matter. But that was a good partner. Bad partner, like I said, she could just turn it on you, and sometimes she just, you know, but that's all of us. We're all humans. You know, it's what we are. But for the most part, I think she did great things in her life. I think she'll be remembered for that for the most part. Everything good she did for us. I guess I'm done with that.
I grew up most of my life, you know, I was with Grandma and Granddad for most of the part, and my grandfather and grandmother was really good to me, and I always stayed in touch with Mom, you know, through the summers and everything. And as I got older, I had a little wedge built up to my mother for quite some time. It's kind of unfair because it's not always one person's fault what happens to people in life. Well, once I got about 35 years old, I said, well, you know, maybe it's just time to make amends with this whole thing. And it really felt good because she was a very good person. It's just like Davey said, she took people in who didn't have anything. And she very blessed person. Some people just can't do that. You know, maybe I'm one of those people that have a hard time looking past things. But she didn't, and that's one thing I really liked about her. And as I got to know her, especially through these last few years, especially when she was ailing, that I really got to know her and what she was about. And I know we always butted heads, you know, about things. But that was the good thing, because it was always feedback. You always had feedback. She always tell you how it was, either you liked it or not. She was just expressing her opinion, and she was never short of that. And through the whole years, you know, of all that, you know, I had a lot of pain in my life being separated from my parents. But I did have great grandparents that bring me in. But Mom, like I said, over the last, you know, 15 years, especially the last 2 or 3 years when she was ailing, I really got to know her. And even before she was ailing, I got to know her. And she really was a great person. It's, like I said, in life, we can't control our destinies, but we can control how we accept them and how we can be as people, and how she was. She had a lot of things against her, and I think she tried to make up her whole life of trying to catch up with things. And she didn't have to, because, you know, she was a really good person. Like I said, she'd take you in, the chips were all down. You know, so, you know, I just went through a whole life like that, and I'm really glad, you know, I'm glad the decision I made and the relationship I had with her. And I just want people to know that, because, I mean, it's easy to have regret. It's easy to look at somebody bad, but the hard thing is to look at somebody good. It takes a lot more energy and a lot more understanding. So, I just really don't have any regrets of the person I got to know. And she's all right in my book. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, it was a very big privilege for me to get to meet Sandy and get to know Dave and most of the family. No, all the family. Yeah, it was kind of weird though. I mean, when I first met Rich, he was this here 30 pound. He was real skinny. He was a rail. I mean, yeah, he had like 5 shades of different hair, and I just. But we went to school together, and we got to know each other. And And we had the nice, he had the nice web neighbors, and we kind of grew up together and fought, and we. And I was always bigger than the rest, and I'd always hurt the little ones. So the mothers would like give me that look, and I was kind of scared to come around for a while because we're getting up dirt fights and stuff. I'd always hit the little one, but yeah. But it was good just growing up and getting to meet everybody, and you know, a lot of you guys I don't even know, and I hear this, well, this is my son or this is my daughter, and it's like, man, it's been a long time, but I really had a great time growing up with these guys and getting to know this precious lady, because she always made me feel at home. And I loved all of her food, but that orange cake thing was just, and I didn't want to insult her, I just wanted to hide it, and it was...
That's all it was, he wanted to get the orange cake.
She loved teasing me about it, and it went on, and I was just like, man, I wish I could have just ate the cake. But, yeah, she was very loving and very caring, and it was amazing how friend Mark that was crazy, and we would go over and she'd feed us, and we'd go home and eat and then come back out. But she really was a wonderful woman, and loved having time with her. It was really amazing because she would get out and do things with the kids, and I was amazed. I was like, man, is this woman all right? I mean, but it was good. She'd get out and jump rope with you. Yeah, whatever. She would get out and do it, and I just thought, man, that is so neat. But she was always welcoming me in, and I didn't see her for a long time, but it was a blessing when I got coming back over and seeing you guys. And same thing like you were saying, she was loving up on everybody. She had a big heart. But the most precious thing was when going in and seeing her in the hospital and hearing that she was saved and gave her life to the Lord. It just hit home. So knowing get to see her for eternity was a blessing. I knew Rich was tickled, and just the whole family, church family, loved her and got to know her. It was just nice seeing Ted too, because we was young. We were talking about the park earlier, and I was telling about the free swimming. This man here could have went to the Olympics, and they would tease me because they had a swimming test. He goes, well, let's race, and he'd let me have over halfway to show that he could beat me. He was a swimmer, but Rich would go underwater, and I don't know, he's a part fish or something. He'd go under forever. Couldn't find him, but we had good times out here, dirty as that was. But her mom would bring us and would let us spend the day and come and get us, and so it was just good times with everybody, and I loved every bit of it.
You know, you've always been a part of this family.
Thank you.
You will be till you're dead.
Thank
There
you.
ain't no way out of it.
I know. I've been
They were John Staley. One year they were just making the rounds at Thanksgiving time, and they came by the house. And Mark, this tells you how comfortable Mark was. He would bring his brother over. He didn't come over very often, but he was just welcome. He knew he was welcome to come over. He goes, "Oh, this is our third stop. Yeah, we've been hitting the turkey run. Thought we'd come by here, see what you guys have." He goes, "I'm not sure if I can eat." He's like, goes like this. He goes, "Oh yeah, I still got a quarter tank left. Fill up." But Mom just loved that kind of stuff. My friend, you know, our friends would bring to the table. Just because of her generosity, she brought out the good in everybody. So, anybody else? Come up.
That's what I think about. It's a memorable laugh. She's always smiling.
Anybody else? I know there's got to be stuff. You guys say stuff. I know you guys know. I know there's things you want to say. Come on, say something.
All I'd say was I was brought up by my grandparents, and Sandy was a good friend. More than anything to me. That's what she was a good friend, a card player that we had a lot of fun together. She's more of a friend than a mom.
She He's a good friend to every
Yeah, I know.
I remember a time when I wrecked your car.
Yeah, I was really mad about
You remember that?
How could I forget?
Actually, that was the beginning of the change in me. Was
Oh yeah,
that moment on.
you weren't the first one.
I realized I wasn't invincible. That I could die. You know?
I thought that was Dave.
That was another
That was me.
time.
Vernon was with me. Vernon kept talking. I could always see it.
He asked me to drive. I said yes.
So we could say it's Vernon's fault. But you know, Mom, she took the blame for that. She took my mistake and took it upon herself and took the blame. Did the police report that she wrecked the car. How many people you know would do that for you? I don't know anybody. Don't ask me.
You're talking about me, I'm right
Well,
here.
I can pick up as Jesus. That's the closest thing.
You, if I get in an accident, old buddy.
Somebody else. I keep talking. Somebody else will say something.
I don't know, you guys at your house over at Sandy's, that was a game house. Everybody went over there to play games, boggle,
Now, wasn't that great?
everything.
Wasn't that great?
I've been here at Chinese checkers.
Always something going on.
Food and games.
Always food.
When we were playing Stratego, what was that? His mom asked him what he wanted to eat.
Scrabble and spaghetti.
So we
Scrabble and spaghetti. The house always smelled like spaghetti. I loved the spaghetti.
I love her chili.
Chili?
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Her goulash.
I love her goulash. I love her goulash. She was boggle queen.
She was, yeah.
You know, Dave called to tell her how to make goulash. Right, Dave? Dave, did you teach Mom how to make goulash? Because I remember your goulash was like, wow. I remember the goulash. So good. I remember that goulash. So that's Dave's. Anybody else? Come on, don't be shy.
Just grandma, you know, like, I love her and everything, but now, like, hearing everybody else, like, she's a mom or, like, a friend, and, like, I get to see different sides of her, which is kind of cool, but it's still really, I don't know, I just keep thinking of all the funny stuff, like, she was just funny all the time, like,
Oh, that was good.
He was sneaking up behind me with water, and she seen him and got him first.
You talk about mom in the water place?
I was so proud of myself.
Love those.
Remember? And I went like this, and you said shampoo, you said.
I know somebody used
That was a proud moment in my life.
band around that.
Oh my God, Mom.
Who did that?
Why couldn't I ever beat my grandma?
Anybody else want to say anything? Dave or Ted, you guys want to say anything?
She did love to shop.
Oh yeah, she would take forever at the store. I remember with her, she had to go every aisle.
You hear that, Wilma? My mom would take forever going to the stores. Who's that remind you of? I do that. I'm the slowest grocery shopper in the world. I'm making sure I get the best deal on the best.
You hear that?
Bargain shopping.
You hear what my daughter said? Just want to make sure she got everything. That's what it was.
Oh no, she's got to make sure Richmond's got too much money. That's right. That's exactly why she goes. Yeah. She don't know I spent so much money already while she was gone yesterday. Mom wanted him to let everybody know what happened.
You don't want to say it?
Because of his coming to the hospital and visiting her. So, does anybody else want to say anything before Todd comes up?
Come on, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, you want to say something?
I remember Stevie Haroon and the Haroon family.
What's that?
Stevie Haroon, Gaither's friend.
Oh.
The Haroon family. And they had a rough upbringing, and I remember Stevie wanted to be here today, and Rita. And so just want to let you know that, give a shout out, you know, he considered her his mother.
Well, they all did, I think.
Yeah.
Stevie, Rita, and Susie.
Yeah, and Ricky. Well, Ricky was younger.
Everybody we brought home, man, they call her mom. They call her mom.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because they're in Colorado.
Over there to be nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me and my family here with you. It's weird when you pray for people for a long time, you feel as if you know them. And I was able to pray for Sandra for so long that I feel like I really came to know her and all of you just through the power of prayer. But I told her that I would tell you about our conversations. I only got to sit with her about 4 or 5 times. But when I would walk into the room, it's funny because hearing you talk about her, you're exactly right. She was very hospitable and she made you feel very, very welcome. And sometimes when you're a pastor and you're visiting people you don't know very well, you don't stay very long. But she had a quality that made you want to sit down in the chair and pull the chair close and listen to what she had to say. And so I was able to have some long visits with her, and I really, really enjoyed it. But the first time I went to go see her, she was afraid. She was scared. And I got a call from Rich that said that he and Scott and Vernon had talked to her that day and that she just kept saying she was scared. And so Rich tried to talk to her about the Lord a little bit, and really they were able to get her to kind of open up, to really be ready to talk about Jesus. Not everyone is ready to talk about faith all the time, but she was ready. And we had been praying for a long time for her, for all of you. And so I walked into the room and I sat down and I introduced myself. And I said, "Can I talk to you a little bit?" And she said yes. And I said, "How are you doing today?" And she just started crying. And she said, "Not good." And I said, "Well, what's wrong?" I was thinking that she would tell me about her physical condition, but she didn't. Her first words were, "I'm afraid." And I said, "Well, what are you afraid about?" And she said, "I just don't know what happens." Now, I didn't know. I thought maybe she meant after you die. I wasn't sure, so I said, "Well, tell me about that. You mean you don't know what's going to happen with your body and with your life?" And she said, No, I know that I probably won't be here long.